Hi, this is Nicholas Yock, a registered migration and education agent from Pathway to Oz. Today I'm going to discuss with you, the documentation needed to apply for your second working hand visa. So look, everyone knows you need to work 88 days of specified regional work to get your second working holiday visa. However, once you've completed your work, you want to ensure that you have the documentation needed to get it approved. Immigration will often not just accept your word that you did the work. They want proof. A lot of visa holders, over the time just lose it or don't keep track of the relevant documentation they should keep. This video is designed to make sure that it's front of mind so that when you're doing the work, you keep the documents, make it that much easier to get your second working holiday visa. Please note, having talked with a lot of different working holiday visa makers, over my time, quite often immigration won't even look at your documents. They'll just see it and approve the visa. But it's also quite common for immigration to really look in depth at the documents. I've certainly heard a lot of times where applicants who did the work but didn't necessarily have the documents needed had their visa refused. And just in case they do this, I would recommend you definitely keep track of that and make sure you get the relevant documents when you're doing the work. So the evidence is specified work. So I would recommend providing as much documentation as possible when you lodge your application. So some of the things this may include are pay slips, obviously from the employer. Under certain circumstances, invoices may be accepted as well, depending on the work. I would also recommend showing evidence of the pay going into your bank account so that they've got that two sort of step. The pay slips as well as the money going into your account are two steps. Another really important thing that a lot of people don't get is the employer verification form, or I think it's a 1263 form, signed by your employer. A link to this form will be below, but basically it's just a form you complete and you get your employer to sign, which basically signs off that you did the specified work. Photos might be a little bit extra, but hey, it can help. And obviously if you do have a peace contract or employment agreement, depending on what sort of work you're doing, I would always recommend you put that there. Ensure obviously you've got the contact details, address, name of the employer, type of work, phone number, email, everything. If you have any questions about the documentation when you're doing the work, I'd recommend giving immigration a call early, just so you can get when you're there. Look, another thing that I would recommend doing is drafting your visa application early. So you can actually jump onto your immigration account and draft an application months and months and months before you intend to lodge it. And by doing this, you can see the information that immigration require. So if you do it early and when you're at the farm or wherever you are, you'll know exactly the information that you need from the employer, etc. And you're not gonna need to, in 6 months' time when you've left the farm and you've lost their number, try and figure out what his name was, where it was, what the thing. Jump on, prepare it early, have it sitting there so that whenever you are ready to lodge, you just hit lodge and you've already got all the information there. As long as obviously you lodge your visa before your current visa expires, you will get a bridging visa, which will allow you to remain in Australia while it's processing. Now look, there'll be a second video that we're going to be making on what are the different types of specified work accepted by immigration, and we'll put a link to it below too. I hope you found this information useful. Please, basically the general idea of it is just to plan ahead and make sure you give yourself lots of time and you take down all the details needed so that in the future you save yourself a lot of stress. If you cannot meet the requirements for a second working holiday visa, perhaps you run out of time, or perhaps you don't have the documents, whatever it is, feel free to contact Pathway to Oz and we'll look at whatever other options there may be. Thank you.